What up, my freaks? Ruinous Man-Thing here with part 2, or RuinousInsight here. I guess not Man-Thing anymore, although I guess I am still a Man-Thing, so it all works. It's all fine. Great start today, Ruinous. Anyway, as we saw last time, we got our first couple of provinces and knocked out whatever, I guess it was the Magritta faction that was out here, the first of the Southern Realms factions, and got to our goal of reaching level 12 with the Lokhir, which is a pretty big power-up both for his army and for his faction. Black Ark growth rate cumulative, the recruiting of the Black Ark Corsairs, which we are looking to do in 5 turns to start our raiding fleets, with 3 Black Arks already available, and hopefully a 4th very soon. By the time we reach Miros, we should be able to pump out a few Black Arks and send them out. One will, of course, stay with Lokhir, but I don't know, 1 or 2 will go through and just gather islands and raise and raid and do what they do best. Anyway, in terms of what we have to do this particular turn, I don't believe there's much. Scout still has to move, so let's move him to try to get towards the long way around. And then use it to get to Malice Darkblade, which actually will also still take a while, but that's fine. Who knows? He might get severely damaged fighting Imric or whoever and want to confederate early. Otherwise, we should probably spend a little bit of the money we have, but keeping in mind that we will want to start recruiting Black Ark Corsairs in huge numbers in 5 turns. So, Admiral Kenwovale, we want to get you up to... Actually, we want to get you up to tier 4 so that we can get the Tower of the Blessed Dread up and running. Recruit rank plus... this gives us recruit rank plus 3 for our Black Ark Corsairs faction-wide, eh? Actually, it would be nice to have this before we do anything else. Alright, well, it's certainly a consideration. Otherwise, everybody else is good. Lokhir is building something, and I guess we should probably save at least most of the remaining money, so we'll save it. Alright, unassigned skill points, etc. We'll leave unassigned... Wait, why are we leaving unassigned? We're waiting for rank 10 on this master. And we can just keep on waiting. Evil Choir oh right. Evil Choir Master. I love it. I remember playing Malekith and laughing at all the ancillaries that the Dark Elves get, and Evil Choir Master is certainly one of the funny ones. Anyway, Lokhir, you are not recruiting this turn. I would like you to do 2 things. Thing the first is move towards Malena, wherein we will hopefully attack Wamfiro the Nargul, was it? Or Norgul the Wamfiro? Whatever. And hopefully... Wait, do we have to wait a few turns? 1 turn. Perfect. Wow, that really worked out. And Evil Choir Master, well, I guess we'll keep it on Lokhir for now, but then we'll probably transfer it to somebody who's sitting at home. You can also have the banner and the bodyguard and the Evil Choir Master. There you go. All the ancillaries. You, Cameron, can channel. Wait, can you go to rating stance? You can. What does this do for us? Wait, are you at full mana? You are nearly at full mana. If we go into rating, we can't. Okay, well, whatever. And then your rating gives a little bit of... Let's try this. Let's see how these guys react to this. I wonder if they'll run. They could also try to go for Magritta, which might be unfortunate, but if it happens, it happens. Anyway, Admiral Balthanol, we should probably upgrade your Black Ark to tier 2. Admiral Calath will be waiting a while until he can do the same. Admiral Kenwovale, you're waiting to upgrade to tier 4, which is going to be fairly costly, admittedly, but it'll be worth our time. We could upgrade the Estate of the Masters, and probably still should. Although our money is starting to drop and we will still need it in 4 turns, but hopefully we can overcome. Anyway, I believe that's it for this turn. Other than the scout, there isn't much to do because we're about to go into battle next turn. So head on out, Mr. Scout. And wait, can we build any heroes, masters, another perfectionist? Just want to check their traits, but nothing interesting. And set sail, buddy. A long way around. Journey duration 5 turns. Oh, wow. That's a long time. But, you know, it does also save us like 50 turns of movement, so fair enough. End turn.
Top dog.
Out of curiosity, does raiding increase loyalty chances? Unfortunately, it does not, but what it does do is increase Black Card growth +2 cumulative faction-wide, so the more you have a raiding, the faster your Black Arcs grow, which is pretty interesting, actually, speaking of. Admiral Kenwilvale immediately upgrade to the enormous Black Arc, and then we'll go for the Tower of the Blessed Dread, which admittedly takes all our money. Raiding season. Casualties captured post-battle +25%. Beautiful. Income from raiding +50%. And come from sacking settlements 10%. Once again, it is time for the Dark Elves to venture out to distant shores to plunder, pillage, and most importantly, gather slaves to fuel their war machine. The mines of Nagaroth are always need new flesh. Sounds very similar to what the Chaos Dwarfs want. Now, there's two other things we want to do. We can maybe prevent the Doomsphere from blowing up for now by evening out the Skaven corruption. So we need to decorruptify, meaning we have to build a Shrine of Cain or an Altar of Cain here at Tarosa, which is fine, actually. Unless I'm mistaken, a tier 3 or tier... Yeah, we get Death Hag and Cainite Assassin and Black Arc Reaver capacity, so yeah, that's fine. And we'll build a Shrine of Cain here. Frankly, we kind of need them everywhere, so why not? And they're probably better built in main territories, and we might transfer you away depending on how our money situation is going to look here, but we'll deal with it later. For now, let's check Diplo, although I don't imagine there's going to be too much of it. Clan Scab still wants to ally, but I'm not going to do that until the territory that we want has been taken from them. And these guys aren't ready to confederate yet, but that's fine. I wouldn't expect it this early anyway. Yo, are currently at war with... Oh, damn, they did declare war on Clan Scab. Yep, this is exactly what I didn't want. Might have to betray these guys if we have to, but it is what it is. Clan Scab, we will join your war, though. And join war against Swampfiro Cabal for 877, that's it. Oh, you disappoint me, Scab. Alrighty, well, it is what it is. Like so. Then, just to double check, are you in range, Admiral Balthanol? Yes, you are. I'd love to upgrade... I'd love to upgrade the Dark Elf residences, but I think we're gonna have to wait. Soul Braziers are also pretty cheap, so we could get them going in Lokhir's army as well if we wanted to. But anyway, Lokhir. Let's do Druki First Strike this time, although admittedly it's not as needed against the Vamps as other faction types. Still, I think it'll be a pretty fun fight. You can move on in a second. Yeah. Alright, so you are able to keep Druki First Strike when besieging. Beautiful. Alright, and then you can go right here. Although, I guess you'll want to stop raiding for the next turn, so go into Dark Channeling instead. And, let's get you Inspiring Presence so that you can get a little bit of levels, but if you, if you die, or if you rebel, that's fine, we'll just kill you. Did this have a defensive structure? My bad. It did not. Alright, so it's a field battle. And yes, I could have just pressed the gun for the map preview. What do we have here? Banner of Eternal Flame. You will want to go on to... somewhere in the middle of our formation, which is probably going to be right here. Actually, you know what? Let's put it directly on Lokhir. Increases damage. Well, actually, you know what? No, Lokhir's fine. We'll put it on you, and Lokhir's going to go after Norgwal. Go.
Summoned, prepare to face the Krakenlord!
Alrighty, though I do expect it'll be something of a while before they actually face the Krakenlord, because they have to move towards us, and we are using Druki First Strike to our full advantage here. Vanguard deployed all the way on the left flank of the enemy army. The enemy army is Vampire Count's army, which means it is very, very slow, and deploying on one flank means that it separates the army and the extremely slow units. 28 movement speed on the Grave Guard, for example, for quite the while, as they have to slowly trudge effectively across the entire map to get towards us, all the while we fire away at the enemy. And of course, it's better to try to use up all the ammunition on those handbows of ours before wading into melee combat, and so that's exactly what we'll do. And the handbow units, as well as the 2 units of Dark Shards, will bring down hopefully at least a few of the enemy skeletons, and before the other units arrive. Should work pretty well. Now, to be prepared, I'd wager for the first 2 or 3 episodes, we will be using a lot of Black Ark Corsairs, as in the Black Ark Corsairs are going to form the bulk of our armies for that time until we can sort of get units that are more expensive, but to do that we need to, you know, make money, and the best way to do it is using the cheap units of the Black Ark Corsairs. But they may be cheap, but they're really effective. And once again, the handbow variant at the very least is my favorite unit archetype, so I at least are going to be having a lot of fun with it. Anyway, looks like we destroyed, what, 2 or 3 of the skeleton warrior units now, and it looks like the fastest moving elements that the enemy army has, 5 or 6 of the fell bats, are going to head towards us. Kind of an interesting setup, as especially against the Black Ark Corsairs with Twin Blades, who have a massive melee attack with 64. Kind of counteract the Fellbats, who have a very low melee attack but high melee defense, at least in theory. Less so with the Soul Blight upgraded upon them. And while it may feel like a waste to Soul Blight a bunch of fragile bats, they are quite annoying in tying up your range units, so it's better to just knock them all out. We also have that rubric of Dark Dimensions, so we will activate said rubric to do a decent bit of damage to one of the enemy skeleton warriors, and then follow it up with the Kane's Cauldron, or whatever that ability is. The enemy Vargolf also will head towards us, certainly a threatening unit, but perhaps not as much if we net it down and then focus it down with all of our range fire, especially with all the anti-large range fire coming in from the Black Ark Corsairs and with handbows. The enemy army is still attempting to move towards us and even attempting to flank us with a unit of Crypt Ghouls, but ineffectively so far. And in fact, we haven't done really much of any melee fighting as yet. On the bright side, we have used up a lot of ammunition. The Black Ark Corsairs here are down to, what, maybe 10% of their ammo, and will be starting to run out soon. And that's just fine by us, because it's time to join the melee. Here we go, the Dread Spears will lead, and then the Twin Blade units will follow, and the Murderous Prowess will activate, which means the handbows can now wade into the melee as well. Now, Murderous Prowess does increase their missile damage as well, but it's I think it's a good idea to use their melee attack increase and have them fight in the melee. They can always back off and keep using their range attacks afterwards. And we should be able to tear through those ranks of skeletons and zombies quite well. In particular, this army has also a severe lack of support units, which Vampire Count's armies are very much reliant on. Those corpse carts and those necromancers. Of course, the main vampire is here, but otherwise. And Mortis engines. And of course things like crypt horrors and other monsters to intersperse within the lines. Without them, the army is going to be a lot weaker. Another Pit of Shades comes down upon the enemy, that rubric of Dark Dimensions item that we got last episode, really doing good work. And the balance of power has shifted to about 85% in our favor. Black Ark support continues to come down on the droves of zombies and skeletons. Granted, there is a lot more where that came from, but slowly but surely we will cut them all down. And while the zombies may be tar-pitting us, they won't do it all that well against the Twin Blade units because of their massive melee attack and their fast attacking capabilities. This is kind of what they're meant for. Alright, not much to say about this tactically anymore, as the enemy army is now extremely damaged. The enemy unit of Crypt Ghouls that attempted to flank us, which was the only tactically interesting move that the AI had, has been destroyed, and now it's just a matter of grinding all of those skeletons and down into bone dust. And the Soul Blight continues annoying the enemy as well, as they attempt to blob up, or are forced into blobbing up, or are generally just forced into trying to get into combat as fast as they can. Lokhir is attempting to close the distance with the enemy Necrarch, but the Necrarch, unlike the other Vampire Lords, likes to back off in the manner of a Necromancer, and thus doesn't really want to fight. And it looks like he'll send a unit of Graveguard to try to get in Lokhir's way. And it looks like he'll just melt away instead. The Necroarch, I mean. Alright, and there we are. If Lokhir had his Sea Dragon that, he would have been able to push through those Graveguard, but I'm sure we'll get it up and running. Slanashi giggle as soon as we can. Maybe this episode, who knows? Alright, fantastic. The blessings of Anathrema and Mathland truly upon us, as we had pretty much all the advantages at that time around. The slow nature of the undead army meant that they took a long time to get to the flank where we were Vanguard deployed via Druki First Strike. We were able to also take that time to have the handbows and use up most of their ammunition and charge up Murderous Prowess. Once we were low on ammunition and Murderous Prowess popped off, we sent them in to, do the damage with blades and cut everybody down. Beautiful. And let's see, Lokhir got 18k damage, 63k on the Black Arc Reaver, but because he has a Rubric of Dark Dimensions, that bit of Shades ability that we've got. So, makes sense. A little bit of damage, 16k on one of the Dread Spears. Pretty solid. Doing as good as one of the best units of Black Arc Corsairs, but at the same time, with the current cost of Black Arc Corsairs, it's no longer really sensible to keep the Dread Spears in this particular army. Anyway, close victory, 300 slaves, 2-7, okay amounts of money and stuff. I'm tempted to sack the place and, well, it's a new, well, this territory is already kind of having trouble with public order, isn't it, though? Tempting though this is. We could deal with the public order, but then we'd have to not collect the income. I actually don't remember whether we're collecting income. You know what? Maybe not this time. Maybe not this time. We are collecting income. So yeah, we would have... It wouldn't have been worth it because we would have had to uncollect the income and it would have been a whole thing. Oh, what does Pastures do for us? Upkeep reductions for Dark Riders and Warlock units. That's great. We're definitely having some of those, and it'll give us additional fast growth here. Lovely. And then Hevea has Salt, which I don't think I actually checked what it did. Lots of trade goods here, though. Pretty nice. Black Arc Corsairs reduction? Oh, wow. Oh, well, yeah, that does make sense. But, we're going to need more salt, aren't we? Alright, well, first of all, we're going to go demand Highborn Hostages for that public order so that we can keep collecting the income. Cold One for Jesha Gordorth, and Bay of Quietude is completely ours. I guess we can level up the settlements here. It's more money than I'd like to spend right now, considering we got 3 turns until the recruitment will begin. But at the same time, it should probably be worth it to get at least up to tier 2. Yeah, fine. Now let's go to tier 2 and tier 2, and just hope that these guys don't attack us, though if they tier do, then we'll cancel those. Lovely. Anyway, you can stay there. Look here, do you need to construct anything at this time? We could start going through these to buff up the Black Arc support, admittedly. I'm just checking if anything else is super critical right now. Oh. And we do want the casualties, I assume, actually I'm not sure. Does the prison wing, the Black Arc slavery thing, income from, or casualties captured post-battle, does it apply to the army itself or only other armies nearby? I would assume that it also applies to yourself, but, you know what you do when you assume, don't you? But anyway, weapon strength for Black Arc Corsairs faction-wide, that'll be pretty nice. Ooh, campaign movement range. You know what, we're going to start with Most Infamous Raider because... also take Route Marcher, but anyway, because we have a fair bit of traveling to do to Cabreros and then Jerez, so yeah. Alright, are you rank 10 yet? Yes, indeed you are, sir. So, first of all, Master 1. Oh, wait, in this version of the mod... Oh, actually, I want to check this. So, currently, we have... training at 10%. If we give you Nobleborn Ruler... Hey, they fixed it. Okay, I remember reading in the patch notes that they actually fixed this, so we didn't have to bother with that anymore, but, well, it looks like they actually did, so good for them. Other Master, you can max out training then, which should now be maxed out at 15%, and alright, moment of truth, our first gamble. What martial name of power will we get? Big money, come on, let's see what we got. Don't screw us on this game. And what do we have here? Worm Scale, melee defense plus 10. Solid. Armor plus 20. Speed, sort of solid generalist one. And Drake Cleaver. terrible. I will take Worm Scale. I think there are much better ones, but it's a decent melee defense is always nice, speed is always nice. I mean, these guys are already heavily armored, so that doesn't matter. But anyway, let's give this a read. In the gnarled and treacherous peaks surrounding one of your estates, a dragon's lair has been discovered. Its inhabitant is an old, tired specimen, docile enough to offer one of its ancient scales imbued with magic. In return, the dragon wishes to be left to rest in peace. So, accept the offer or slay the gargantuan beast. Such a fearsome creature certainly has its uses. Accept this deal and leave the dragon be for now. Alright, Delzus Worm Scale. Now we'll see what other names of power we get. And sorceresses, they don't get a name, I take it? Unfortunately not. Oh well. I just wanted to gamble again, but what can you do? Wild casting is... Actually, you know what? Let's grab wild casting, because against the vamps, it's a fairly solid thing to have. The master... Oh, I wasn't done with leveling you. Weakness abhorred, and... Let's go for weakness abhorred. Tested is fine, but the thing that we really wanted was to go through this line. Let's get tough as nails for the character XP, and then I guess... As if we are the elite, yeah. And then I guess we'll go through above suspicion and start moving towards trusted retainer for that unbreakable, but also the speed and missile resistance. Yeah. Yeah, masters have some really good stuff. Basically, you have to have a master with every non-sorceress lord. Anyway, you can increase mobility because that's always useful, and let's get you... Accompanying lord. Recruit, or... Loyalty, I don't think we need it. I guess we could give you more melee defense. I haven't decided between the sword and handbow and greatsword in this particular army. I'm 99% sure we're going to go sword and handbow because Lokhir's army is going to be handbow based. But, you know, we shall see. At the end of the day, they don't really do much damage in range because range heroes are terrible. They would do a lot more damage in melee, but it would still be nice to potentially, you know, sort of look similar to the other units. Yeah, let's go through elusive. I want to get strength through spite because it's a relatively nice buff for that melee attack +5. Although the area of effect is rather small. But anyway, do you guys have a name of power? No, the masters do, but the raiders do not. Alright, well, fair enough. Fair enough. And then the other master, you can keep holding on to your points, I guess. Ooh, one more check. Yeah, okay. Up to 25%, eh? Good. No building to be building, no money to be spending, although I would like to spend some. We have, unfortunately, other things to do. Oh! We'll need to save up 4,000 for next turn, so yeah, we need all the money we got. So let's ignore all that, and Scout is already moving. Alright, what do we have here? +3 loyalty versus Winds of Magic Power Reserve. Yeah, sure, why not? You have discovered that most pitiful and distrusted of creatures, the male sorcerer. Malekith in his wisdom has decreed that all such wretches must die by his hands, but now this one is begging pathetically at your feet, proffering power in exchange for his freedom. Turn him over to Malekith. If Malekith truly fears these conjurers, then he will pay handsomely for this one's miserable life. The strong survive, the weak are destroyed. This one is weak. Alright, and Cammering is now at loyalty 6. Huh, I guess maybe we'll be keeping you around then. Good for you. Hey, you guys, you're proceeding on to Cabreros next as fast as your legs can carry you. As fast as your misery can carry you. Too real, man. Anyway, hopefully we can reach Cabreros in one turn. I see nobody coming towards Torcarindus, but not just in case. I'd like to send Admiral Conmoville there to protect it. Let's build up the Tower of the Blessed Dread as well. Lovely. 2 turns until recruitment, so we gotta be prepared. You guys. Now that's a question. You're not going to be in range, but you need to be near enough to Lokhir in order to... Alright, I guess you're going to move this way. They need to be near enough to Lokhir for the unit transfer that will be happening shortly. And go here. But also hopefully far enough away from any, you know, rogue armies, rogue fleets out there that might take our armies out. Alright, and that looks good to me. I don't think we need to check our Diplo this time around, because I doubt that there's anything interesting. Ooh, 7 more turns remaining of that happy populace, so... we gotta be wary of that. That Doom Sphere is still arising with the corruption. But what can you do? -13, ouch, okay now. Not worth it, at least not yet. Now we need to get the population up to where we're maxed out in terms of building reductions, which is again why I'm not, you know, super keen or don't care that much about doing anything with the buildings. We can build a cheap spice market. Well, actually, no, not yet. Let's end the turn. Alright, Cammering is loyal again, good for him and or us. Raise or sack Verin. Alright, we will sack it, I guess. Assuming these guys or Clan Scab doesn't interfere. Looks like these guys, the Southern Realmers to our east, Gwalkazar, have not yet declared war on us, so hopefully we have a little bit of leeway before they do, unlike with Magrita. So we'll just have to wait and see. You, to proceed to Cabreros, and hello! I got a full stack there. Oh, this guy is certainly got stacks. Good for him. I wonder if they'd sally out. Well, we could attempt to wait for it. Fight it in the field again. The only thing that would bother me about that is we'd have to wait the turn. But without butt ladders, obviously, the sieges are a lot more risky, aren't they? Anyway, Skaven Corruption, we are now dropping to -4. If you're wondering why I didn't just let it blow up or otherwise clear it out, the thing is, it's giving us a +10 research rate, which isn't a lot normally, but it is a 10% increase, right? Because we only have 100, and it's actually saved us a couple of turns in terms of research. Actually, these should be down to 5, and these should be down to 3, or at least they were last time I checked them. This increased by a turn? Well, I guess we'll have to keep an eye on that. Anyway, Black Arcs, I guess we're going to have to meet with the Lokhir here at Miros, where we will recruit your stuff. So start moving this way. You can't support him from where you are at any rate right now, anyway. And no, don't move that way, it's unsafe. And okay, it's gonna lag again because I unfortunately... come on now. I clicked a city, or I moused over a city, and the game gets angry when you do that. I guess it tries to draw a path or something. I'm not entirely sure why, but... there you go. Took an unnecessarily long time. Alright, Lokhir. Do we just go for it? If we were to sack it and reoccupy it next turn, we could still take the place, and, well, yeah, but if we do, it would rebel next turn, wouldn't it? And because of the negative elements in this province itself already, which ain't so great. Anyway, Cammering, keep on moving in. Alright, fine. Well, then again, what if the rats take Jerez? Well, that's not good. I mean, obviously we can break through the gate. We do have a manticore for that particular purpose, even though it would take a lot of effort. And we do have Siege Attacker because of it. Pyrrhic Victory. But we'd also probably suffer a lot of casualties. On the other hand, a turn is quite important right now, so we don't have to attack Clan Scab, maybe. Alright, fine. I think we're just going to just directly go for it. Go for it. Alrighty, no mercy indeed. We gotta save on time, and that means breaking through that gate. We have immediately landed our Manticore, and we'll head directly towards the gate. And, interestingly, the Manticore is significantly slower than the Master on Cold One on foot. It says 95 speed, but I take it that flying units are in fact actually significantly slower when... and you have Strider. Significantly slower when they're running than when they're flying, and I take it just doesn't show us what the actual ground speed of a unit is. Anyway, the enemy is locked up in a big ol' settlement, but this is a Vampire Count's defense, and they're going to have issues with us. They have no range units to fall back upon or rely upon, and, well, we do. Not to a great degree, mind you, but certainly enough. More importantly, we have spells, we have Black Arc support, and the enemy has no choice but to blob up around the gate as we break through. The two Masters have made their way forward with the one on foot and one on Cold One. The Manticore is in here as well, and I'm sure Lokhir is in here somewhere. Again, until he gets his mount, he's going to be a little bit difficult to spot, especially when the other Blackheart Corsair's around. Even with his red blades glowing and with the Kraken helm, he's still a tiny model. And does look pretty dang good, though. Alright, and we gotta enjoy him in this form for as long as we can until he gets his mount, because we won't be seeing him on foot anymore. And gotta have some Sea Dragons, and yes, we'll have at least some Sea Dragons and Helldrakes in this army, not just Blackheart Corsairs. You gotta spice it up. No need for artillery in Lokhir's army, though. I think we'll just be able to batter through gates if needed. Anyway, gonna pop up a Spirit Leech on Lokhir, it looks like. So the enemy will Spirit Leech us, and we'll Spirit Leech them right back shortly. But first, let's get a few of those Black Arc abilities going. Kane's Lash will come down to debuff the enemy with the -10 and 5 melee defense and attack. The speed is irrelevant here. And then here come the other Black Arc support abilities. The enemy is certainly preventing us from entering the enemy settlement and thus making good use of our hand bows, but the spears who were sent forward through the gate are doing what they're supposed to be doing. And they're using their high, well, reasonably high, melee defense. Wait, their melee attack's actually higher than their defense? That's surprising, but anyway, still higher than a Blackheart Corsair unit. Using that melee defense of theirs to just absorb damage. All the while, the enemy continues to get hit by spellwork. Like so, Black Dragon Egg will get a sort of scorch-like ability through the enemy. I wonder how much damage that does. And of course, the Rubric of Dark Dimensions is here as well. All the spears really have to do is hold ground, and then of course we also have the Masters and Lokhir himself in the midst of the fight. Though I think Lokhir actually peeled away and decided to duel the enemy lord. He is a duelist after all. The only too bad thing is he won't be able to duel Azelin and win just like he did in the lore, and then cast his body into the sea as he did in the lore here, because he's not out yet, but we'll get there. Anyway, looks like the enemy lord flees rather than fighting Lokhir and will move towards easier prey in the form of the Dread Spears and now the Blackheart Corsairs with Twin Blades that have entered the enemy settlement. The Dark Shards rain their armor-piercing bolts on the enemy as we have positioned them all the way over here, so that they don't have to fire over the gatehouse, which would have prevented us from doing too much support. The Blackheart support abilities are off cooldown now. It's time to pop them off once more for damage and debuff alike. And I do believe the enemy lord has fallen. Murderous Prowess has activated as the enemy is starting to run out of troops. The balance of power has shifted to about 80% in our favor, and admittedly, they have still continued to prevent us from moving into the settlement, but they are losing so many units in order to do so. And unlike them, we can rotate our troops out if they should take sufficient damage, so I guess Lokhir is a little bit hurt, but eventually he'll have regeneration, so it won't matter. Anyway, tactically, it's a very simple battle. Just breach the enemy settlement and rotate troops as needed. But it is nice to fight the enemy in various different ways. We had that Vanguard deployed first field battle, and now we have a siege battle. If we do another siege, maybe we'll do a tower siege where we go up on the walls, and then maybe if we do another field battle, we'll do a non-Vanguard deploying field battle. Keeps it interesting when you're fighting the same foe. And I do imagine the Wamphiro Cabal will be wiped out relatively quickly, most likely this episode. It's not like they have a lot of settlements around. We will still have to move to the Vampire Coast and possibly Nakari, but there's also a lot of Southern Realm factions nearby. Anyway, the brawl continues, but I'd wager not for too much longer as the bounce power continues to creep in our favor, moving on towards about 90%. Another Rubric of Dark Dimensions comes down, and that Pit of Shades will return the souls of the dead to whence they came. From whence they came, whatever. And what do we got? Another big old Comet of Cassandora-like ability. Look, I'm never going to remember the name of the Blackheart's abilities, as in which one's which, especially because the names change when you upgrade. So just as you get used to Kane's Lash and Sky Cauldron and whatnot, they become like Kane's Flail and something. I don't know, but the abilities. We use them. Anyway, looks like our first troops are being rotated out now. The Dread Spears here are down by about 30% of their, or Blackheart Corsairs rather, are down by about 30% of their HP. They haven't really lost any units though, and just 3, so they'll recover basically to 108% of their HP post-battle, which is why we want to rotate them out. One of the units of Dread Spears is going to back out as well, for the exact same reason. Now this way we won't have to worry about heals. Last of the spells in Black Ark support will take out more of the enemy skeletons. And again, I would have preferred not to have to fight this battle like this, but it was too critical that we saved the turn, so on occasion it may be necessary. Otherwise, I'd prefer to either let the enemy sally out and fight it in the field, or take the walls by storm. But for that, now that we're not using butt ladders, we will need the actual siege towers. Anyway, the bounce power 99% in our favor. The enemies begin melting away / disintegrating, and it's just a matter of time. Now I'm going to get a few more units into the settlement and head towards the last of the remaining units. Oh, and of course you had to fight in shadow. All right, move forward and get into the light. There we go. Little Cold One Riding Master will lead the way, and some Twin Blade units will follow. I do like Lokhir's color scheme as well, as in his faction's color scheme is pretty nice. Alright, we do have some great swords still here, so they could potentially do at least some damage to the Black Ark Corsair. 75 melee attack on our guys, though. More than twice that of the Graveguard, though I do imagine that disintegrating and being poisoned isn't helping all that much. I gotta remember to keep a Manticore maybe with any armies that rely on various effects, and it is potentially nice to have a Manticore in any army that has... I'm just thinking, we have bleed application on Sisters of Slaughter, so if we go Sisters of Slaughter with bleed, a couple of Black Ark Reavers with toxic venom, and Manticores with poison, we can stack at least 3 effects. Then there is the contact effects on Medusae, I want to say, though I don't remember if it's a ranged only effect. I have to double check that. There's certainly something to be said for stacking various contact effects in the early game, especially since Manticores and Sisters of Slaughter, at least, should be reasonably cheap. Alright, perfect. We took relatively minimal, not even relatively, very minimal casualties when we fought the Vampiro Cabal in the field, and we took basically no casualties when we fought them in the siege either, though admittedly the Dark Elves do have a pretty massive advantage with that Black Ark bombardment, especially in the early game. In sieges, but especially against the vampire counts due to their lack of range units, and thus them being forced to essentially cluster around any breaches in the walls where we can drop spell and magical bombardment upon them. Solid workout of a Black Ark Reaver, but again, that's due to his item, and similarly for Lokhir, who got 40k, Warhammer 40k damage. A little bit of work out of the Feral Manticore, and this time we mostly sent in the melee rather than the handbow troops, and, well, I'll let them play a little bit. Actually, solid work out of the 2 units of Dark Shards as well, perhaps unsurprisingly. Yeah, alright, and we will occupy the place like so. Oh, still tempted to sack it, or we'll take it to tier 2 instead. Hey, we got to keep the Dark Elf residences. I like it. That makes up for some of that. And hey, we got the Ice Blades Bleak Swords, which we will put into an army, not to worry. Black Amulet, ward save 5, melee attack and physical resistance. We're currently using the Obsidian Trinket, which I guess we can then... yeah, we can transfer to the Mage. Or possibly later on, you know, make it into something better. But anyway, you can have the Obsidian, or wait, Obsidian Trinket. We also have a Cloak of Hag Grief and an Opal Amulet. We could give it to the Black Ark Reaver for now. He's actually got pretty solid melee defense and such, but, well, this stuff will actually probably go to our next Lord, one of the one of these lords. One of the fleet masters or admirals, but, you know, in a little bit. Anyway, capture many provinces. I wouldn't say 3 as many, but nice. And hello. Slaver, use the murder captives post-battle captive option. Oh, interesting. I'll need a lot more of these. Income from slave pens and slave markets, all provinces. Okay, so we just gotta murder some jerks. Fair enough. And let's see, Lokhir, you got the point. And we could go for capable first mate. Significantly... Wow, this is a massive attack. Yeah, fine. I was gonna go for more speed, but hopefully it doesn't bite us. Wait, you know what? Cancel this. I just want to see something. Are you able to reach this in 1 turn? By the looks of it, you are. Okay. Because if it was just short, then I would go for the Root Marcher, but... What if he is in reality just short? You know what? Let's not risk it. Root Marcher. We'll get the speed thing afterwards. And also, just in case we will... Wait. You want to go this way rather than this way? Alright, that's fine. We will move you even closer, like so. Just in case. Oh! Oh, scab! Yeah, we're gonna have to betray you, aren't we? Hopefully they don't take the settlement, but if they do, we'll just betray them. Whatever, I don't care. And maybe early game is a decent time to do it, because they will... it will recover reasonably quick. Oh. It'll make it harder to make allies, but, you know, the Dark Elves are, you know, against a weakness and thus shouldn't be relying on allies anyway, right? Right. Anyway, we are saving money. We got 1 turn until recruitment cost reduction is up and running. The Warrior Hall is something we want here, but we'll probably get it as soon as we have more stuff in the army. And yeah, I think we'll just save the rest of the cash. And what do we have in terms of public order here? We'll switch to demand highborn hostages, which will allow us to collect the cash. You know what? We'll switch it next turn once it grows a little bit. The Skaven corruption is down, but we shouldn't overly lower it. And otherwise, yeah, we'll save the cash. Skip, skip, skip. Damn you, scab. And end turn. Alright, chartered piracy. There we go. Got what we wanted out of that. Did these guys end up sacking Jerez, or did they back up? I don't know what happened. What I do know is that Lokhir can now travel towards it, and then Cameron can move in to reinforce. Ah, there's a rat. And oh, these guys... Oh, wait. What is this? You're moving southward. And San Pedro de Sur is being raided. Oh, it's this location. Oh, how dare you screw with our public order. Fortunately, or unfortunately for the enemy, the Dark Elves have pretty amazing garrisons, arguably the best in the game, so I don't think they can do anything about it. Anyway, you're going to head to Belmaz just to defend it. In case you're going to loop around, can you get any closer? Well, you can. It's a little bit dangerous, but I think you'll be okay. Start moving here. A little bit closer. We know that Scab can't take Miros, so we should be fine, and we're just out of range. Oh well. You will move past Jerez, just in case... Well, we'll want to reach for Ram, but we'll also want to, you know, sack it and then occupy it to do the quest battle, or the quest. So what are we at here? Minus 35% construction cost. At a cost of control, but that's fine, with demand highborn hostages counteracting it. I'd rather have the construction cost reduction. You're going to go right here to Belmaz. Beautiful, and then you're just going to sit there. And you have Inspiring Presence, and you can hold on to the points, which we generally want to keep with these guys. Alright. Alright. Now, Black Ark Corsairs cost still way too much to recruit, but that's about... Wait. Huh. The reduction... I thought it would have been more, but anyway. We got 25% reduction, right? Oh, wait, but that's in Lokhir's army that it would be combined with us. Yeah, right, so we're fine, Nobody panic. Let's see. Control +1, casualties captured post-battle. Maybe we'll start with casualties captured. I've been wanting to grab the speed for the Black Ark Corsairs, and we will do so, but maybe in a little bit. I also think that we should try to rush towards a casualty punishment rate +5 as fast as we can. Tempered in Blood we will need, but not yet, because we're not doing a lot of raiding as yet, because we just don't have the armies for it. And this also buffs Black Ark Corsairs, which is nice. I'm just checking what we want that's critical. I wish that, you know how in many games you have the ability to like select many texts, like go click and then control, click, 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 and then the game will automatically go via that. That's what I want, basically. It would be nice. But anyway. And just so you could plan it out once and not have to deal with it anymore. This I'm still kind of tempted by popping off a sacrifice to authority, but as long as we can go without it, I think we should. And now the rating here in Orchid Coast, I take it is... Wait. Actually, no, it should still be fine. The public order is -9 here still? Wow. Given corruption is really screwing us over. I mean, I guess we'll have to build torture posts then. I wasn't gonna, but I guess we will. Or the arena, rather. Alright, fine. And... yeah, that's with the demand highborn house. You're not being raided as well, are you? There's also provincial instability, which isn't helping matters. It's a lot of money per turn, though. Alright, fine. We'll turn it off for a turn or two. We'll build a couple of those arenas. I don't like the fact that they have slave upkeep, but it's... we can't do too much about it right now. Anyway, one more turn until Scout reaches a place. We will attack Jerez with an auto-resolve by the looks of it. Auto-resolve. That's a lot of damage, but can't do much about it. Occupy. Alright, and then you, sir, can... you know, just sit here, I guess. You can reach Verin, but it doesn't mean that Lokhir will be able to, but I guess we'll find out shortly. Vampire Slayer, good armor of destiny. Ooh. I mean, Lokhir has his own armor, right? I take it that the Kraken helm counts as an armor? It does indeed. Passive regeneration when in melee. Nice. And, oh, it's a different type of regeneration than regular regeneration, so if we should get him a regular regeneration, we can stack those. Anyway, for now... funnily enough, the Armor of Darkness is actually still really good on him because of the size increase when he's on Lokhir, which will be reasonably soon. Ooh, I'd love to unlock it this episode if possible. Anyway, don't collect the income here, and don't build anything as yet. We will eventually, but not yet. Upkeep him for our own armies in province. Yeah, that doesn't really do anything for us. Anyway, keep racking up that cash for those Black Ark Corsairs ready to come on in. And a Lokhir out of curiosity. Oh, wow, you're healing like not at all here. Oh, it's because we're out of range. Damn. Wait. Oh, but you're not immune to attrition. Nobody's in range? You're out of range of both the Black Arks, both just out of range. Oh, screw you. Okay, well, there isn't anything we could do about that because we'd suffer attrition here. Oh, well, I guess we'll just have to move damaged. That's fine. Just like real life. Anyway, it's another end turn. Yes, yes, nobody has to move. End turn. Alright, looks like Scab might do us a favor chasing this guy down. He's going for San Pedro de Sur now. Okay, that's kind of annoying. You will go to San Pedro de Sur then. Wait, can you... no, I clicked it again. Damn it. Sorry about that, guys. I gotta get used to the fact that the old world doesn't like the Black Arks moving into ports. Dreadlord of the Druki. If you go into regular stance, it's... ow, for the love of... okay, okay. Come on. Any day now. Yeah, if you mouse over any territory, see what it does? It tries to draw a path around the entire map for whatever insane reason. The garrison like here, you know what, I'm not risking it. Let's go into march stance. Let's move in right here. And then right here. It'll lag for a second. Scout journey complete. I'll deal with you in a second. Ooh, factor. Free stuff. Good. And Nemesis Crown. We'll probably try to pick that up. And the Sword of Cain, if we can. Alright. You sit there, Mr. Balthinel. And Admiral Kaleth. You're waiting to get your new stuff. Admiral Conwovale. You actually have some upgrades that you could do if you wanted to. These are pretty cheap, like I said. So maybe it's... better to do those rather than immediately go for the Gargantuan Black Ark, although at only 8k, we could get our first unit of Creeping Dread, which I do like. Certainly a possibility. Anyway, we have a quest to occupy Verin. Now, are you able to reach it? No, but is Ulcess... I don't know. He might be. That's a problem, because if he sacks it, we won't be able to complete the quest. Huh. It's Razor's sack, right? Let me just see here. Is it... yeah, it's probably worth it. Spending an extra turn to get 2.4k. These guys can't take Muros, so yeah, fine. Lokhir, then you're going to proceed to Verin. And then Cammering, you are going to march stance close. And... huh. We can go into encamp stance here, but then, yeah, I don't want to risk the rats taking it. Because then we'd reinforce... oh, it's a minor settlement. I wonder if they'd sally out. Anyway, go here. Oh, I wonder if these guys are moving in. Oh, they're friendly. Huh. Then where are they moving? Watch them immediately declare war on us after this. I would not be surprised if they did. In fact... Oh, we should be careful about cammering then, because they might move. So let's move him all the way to the side here, so that they don't trap him and kill him. Like so. Alrighty, and oh, we also have the Wood Elves nearby. They don't like us very much, do they? Actually, it would be nice to get some Wood Elf allied units if we can manage to do so. If there was another magical forest around here, I'd transfer it to them. I wonder how they feel about mountains. Yeah, the problem is... I mean, we could potentially, possibly ally with Wood Elves. We just need to give them territory, but also then not ally with any Chaos factions. Like Nakari, but I was planning to betray Nakari anyway. I'll think about it. I don't know if we can manage to make it happen, but I'll think about it. Scout, you've got places to be, sir. Go all the way up north, go find Malice Darkblade. Alrighty, and then who is this? Wormskins Norska. We might potentially be able to ally with some Norskins. Although they kind of, you know... They're kind of competition for what we've got going on, so... I'll think about it. Lore-wise. But they do have some nice monsters that we could possibly grab for ourselves. Anyway, I guess we're just going to sit here then and wait for them to either sally out or fight them afterwards. So let's end the turn. Yeah. Alright, go figure. They will indeed sally out, and I guess we'll just have to deal with it. We're not backing off, that's for certain, so hopefully Scab can't take advantage of this. I guess it depends on who moves first and who moves second. Pyrrhic victory, medium casualties. We don't have Vanguard deployment, so it should be a little bit tougher, plus we're damaged from that previous auto-resolve. Should be a fun fight. Go. Alright, this time around we are damaged. Our army has been severely hurt by the auto-resolve, and on top of that, we don't have the Vanguard deployment to rely upon, so we're going to fight this battle in a different way. Here we will make our stand in the center of the map in a box formation, where we can force the enemy's droves of infantry to blob up and get in each other's way. The little bit of impassable terrain will hopefully protect our left flanks. Our least hurt units, 3 units of Black Ark Corsairs with handbows, the only ones that are not at half HP, will be just out front with the Dread Spears and just slightly behind them, and this will allow the handbows to fire off at least a decent amount of shots before they're forced into melee. The Twin Blades and such are all sort of in the back line, partly to protect the Dark Shards, which are here to hopefully dish out decent damage to Graveguard with great weapons, and partly to protect the Dark Shards from bats or from dire wolves. Alrighty, another Rubric of Dark Dimensions comes down and tears through 2 units of Graveguard. Looks like the other units of Graveguard gets stopped by that net with the Black Ark support just a little bit too late to come down. I should have popped that off immediately instead of waiting for the net to run the course. Oh well, not a big deal. Otherwise, the enemy have closed the distance. Lots of Graveguards certainly in the enemy defenses, but little in the way of support units. And that's going to be a problem for them. Black Dragon Egg ability will go through the enemies, and we're going to activate the Soul Blight to debuff their melee attack and defense by 12 and 12. And then drop another one of those lovely Comet of Cassandora-like abilities, Kane's Cauldron or Sky Cauldron on top of the enemy as well. Looks like so far the box formation is working reasonably well. The Dark Shards remain safe and the enemy continues to blob up to take hits from our spell work. And so we can see that regardless of the fact that we didn't have the, well, obviously we're not fighting this in the way that we fought the settlement battle, or when the enemy was forced to blob up around the gate, but they're still forced to blob up, so. Unfortunate to be them. Anyway, one of our units of Blackheart Corsairs has peeled away all the way to the right flank so that they can fire into the flanks of the fragile Crypt Ghouls, which are pretty much dead. It looks like, frankly, the enemy army is in pretty bad shape. Lokhir has defeated the enemy Vampirus and is now in the process of cutting down the enemy Necromancer. The first loses his head, the second one and gets netted down by Lokhir's Vile Net, taking or losing about 50% of his HP with a couple of blows. And a couple more. Lokhir, stop hiding in the... hiding in the, I don't know, a hay wagon there. Anyway, second Necromancer cut down by the Krakenlord, and it looks like with that the enemy army begins to disintegrate. Which does make sense. I'm gonna light up the darkness with another Black Arc support ability and speed the enemy's way back to the grave. Alright, looks like a couple more skeleton warriors and such to take care of, but it looks like this formation worked out pretty darn well in this situation. Admittedly, in the early game, the vampire counts under the AI I don't find particularly threatening, partly because the AI is bad at them, but also partly because without elite units, the AI can't really leverage any of their strengths in the same way that the player can. Their annoyance comes from the same issue as the Skaven, in the sense that they can pop off a bunch of armies, raise a bunch of dead, and then just annoy you all over the place, like the Skaven can with their trash armies of Skaven slaves. Though Skaven slave armies are probably cheaper, so they can get even more. But anyway, decisive victory for Lokhir yet again. Alright, what do we have here? A Standard of Hag Grief. Evasion. When losing melee combat, you get a melee defense plus 10 in speed. Huh. Seems pretty nice. Who's likely to be losing melee combat? Though, but it's a pretty strong buff. Maybe if we put it on one of the Creeping Dread and put it right in the center of our line would be good. Anyway, we have to sack or raise the place for the money, so we're just gonna hope that we don't get screwed over by the Skaven. Let's find out. I mean, they'll screw themselves over if they take it, because then we'll kill them.
Leave nothing but a shell.
Alright, it looks like we're okay. Necro Raiders completed, and then a little bit of cash, which is...
your dominance over the seas and expand your crew even further, Corsair King. None can challenge your armada of black arcs.
Blood kiss of the seas.
Okay, these guys are making me really nervous, and I don't know where they're going, and I don't like the fact that they're in march stance either. Are they at war with Scab? What are they doing? Okay, and also raid Verin for 1,600 money, but can we deal with it right now? Helm of the Kraken, win the following battle. Okay, that we will do. Advisor, I love you, but hush. And enemy killed in battle, enemy killed in battle. There's that Standard of Hag Grief. Dark Steed for Volanduil, and, ooh, another Black Dragon Egg. Nice, very nice. Magical attacks, not bad either. Upgrade any settlement building to level 5. I wonder if Black Arcs fulfill that, I guess we'll find out. This is a question that I want to think about right now. Let's give it a second. Let's scout. You gotta keep moving, bud. So keep moving. Admiral Kaleth, and just generally speaking. Now, we could pop you into Torcarindus, and you should be able to defend that. You would have to back off. Okay, who are you at war with? You're at war with Scab. Oh. So no guarantee that they declare war on us. We could, in the theory, just try to ignore them. And with Scab having backed off, Verin is probably safe. If we put Lokhir into raiding stance, he will not heal much. Wait, if we put Kenwovale... Well, actually, you can go near Muros. This is also, however, a decent opportunity to take these guys out. The problem is this, we wouldn't be able to take both armies. As in, we'd be able to win, but we wouldn't be able to catch both armies. And the problem with that is the fact that we then... One of these armies... Okay, so you'd probably be able to then take out Cammering by himself. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. What is this? It's... Oh. You know what, screw the rating thing. I think you're just going to capture it. It's the game's going to be annoying in that way. And trap Lokhir. We'll auto-resolve this, which I'm sure will do damage to us, but hopefully not enough for us to care about. Don't screw us on this game. Actually, that was a fair bit, but what can you do? And you can just occupy it. We're not going to raid it. That should abort the mission, whatever. Then we will not do any dictat or anything like that. You are going to go into encamp. And you are going to proceed to the edge of our territory.
Show me the compass.
And start heading towards Muros. We'll have Admiral Conwovale back off, because I don't trust this guy to be able to kill... you backed off too far. You need to be close enough to Lokhir to provide Black Ark support. Like so. And then Conwovale, I think, while I do want the tier 5 on you, we could start on the Black Ark support in your army, shouldn't we, Lokhir? And we should also get the Grand Black Ark, though, to be perfectly honest. And it does cost 8, doesn't it? I didn't realize we could also... Oh, it's 2 and 2 and 2. Ah, okay. Well, that's good. Casualty replenishment rate plus 40%. Okay, wait, let me just take a quick look at these then. Stock for Corsairs faction-wide and weapon strength for Feral Manticores and leadership. I don't really care about leadership. Yeah, dueling arena definitely the best option here, so we'll do that again in a second. And what about this? 10% physical resistance charge defense versus a massive increase to speed. And again, it is faction-wide. Ooh, and it's also speed for monsters. I prefer the speed on the monsters and the missile resistance on the monsters rather than the weapon strength, because they already have high weapon strength. Let's then go for the dueling arena. Alright. And then that means we won't have the opportunity to build a sacrificial pit of Cain and all that, but I think considering the cost here, we'll just build it in Admiral Conwovale's army, at least for now. Like so, and like so. And you know what, we should get the Warrior Hall because it'll make these guys cheaper. You, Admiral Kaleth, will go into Torcarindus. It's being quite irritating. They're probably picking up some raised dead as they move, but again, they wouldn't be able to win a actual fight here, so it's fine. You're gonna sit in Torcarindus, you can go into Dread Expansion, and 3.2k. Do we have the 3.2k right now? I'm not sure. You can then... I was about to say leave San Pedro de Sur. Okay, let's just risk leaving it then. Hopefully the rats will chase these guys down. And hopefully these guys won't both take the opportunity to try to wipe Lokhir out, because he's in a very dangerous position. Alright, let's level him up just in case. And just in case they take advantage here. I'm almost tempted to grab a Regiment of Renown just in case, whether it be the Bolt Fiends or possibly the Ice Blades. It's not like we need the Dread Spears really, and they're actually fairly expensive. Might be the safer option. And then immediately we could, well, immediately, but we could transfer those guys afterwards. We could even turn these guys into Bleaks. Oh, we could turn these guys into Corsairs for 750. It would be cheaper to just recruit them directly. What are you talking about, game? Pure insanity. Alright, let's level first and then think about things later. Let's do capable first mate, I guess. Just see if there's anything else interesting. Ahead of the you know what, actually, if the Vampire Coast attacks us, we'll want stock on our Corsair units, because we want to be able to close the distance with all of those gunnery units. Do they have any units that will be hankering for a Fata Biuna? We could pop it onto the animated hulks, but that's about it, and I think we're okay in that regard. Yeah, I think it's not needed. At least not to there. And let's do Power Sap. Another -5 capacity, so that's a -25 capacity now, which is pretty solid. Miscast base chance reduction is fine. Spirit Leech is maxed out, which is fine. We could do Doom and Darkness and get 2 points in it, but I'd like to go for Arcane Conduit, so let's get everything instead. You also miscast a fair bit, so let's not forget about that. Anyway, oh, I thought they fixed it, but apparently they didn't. Yeah, it's back to 10%. Ah, okay, so then we have to do it the annoying way. Alright, fine. So, Master, we will have to put points in this training. Alright, fine, fair enough, and then you can hold on to the rest of your points, and then Black Ark Reaver. You, I guess, can keep going through Elusive, at least until I'm ready to figure out what else we want to put in you. That was a weird turn of phrase. But anyway, we'll save the other point for Tough as Nails and increase mobility at the same time. And also Nashi giggle. Son of Cold Blood we don't need in this particular army. I'm still thinking we go towards Trusted Retainer. I don't see Lokhir routing anytime soon, but you never know. Alrighty. And that's good for these guys. You're holding on to your points. Did we get any additional items? All right, we have the Armor of Darkness, which is fine. Ah, look at the melee defense on our heroes. It's absolutely insane. You're close to your name of power as well. You're in range, and that's why Lokhir is healing a fair bit. Wait.
Sacrifices to Mathlan.
He's healing somewhat. He is in range, right? Yeah, he is. Wish you were healing a little bit more. And just out of curiosity, is there something here that will increase the healing? I think that's to your own army, which doesn't really help us. And obviously we're still waiting for ship's navigators, so we'll just wait. An army's in province. What does this actually do? Well, I guess we'll find out eventually. Anyway, you're sitting there. Everybody else is fine for now. I guess moment of truth. Do we risk not getting the ice blades? I think not. I don't want to lose a bunch of high-level units, so let's do Dread Spears combine into one, and we'll pop in the Ice Blades. Crows of King could be useful as well, but they're ultra-fragile, and I think we'll get more mileage out of the Ice Blades because they're heavily armored. Alright, and I didn't mean to activate that right now, but actually we got a turn, so we should still be okay. Alright, and just out of curiosity, here you can now get, yes, Black Ark Corsairs at 375. Pretty darn cheap, and starting at rank 6. Yes, good. And you can get them at 750, but yeah, we need to, if we really hope that these guys don't declare war, because we need to spend a couple of turns recruiting for all the Black Arks. You need to move over there, you need to move over there. End turn, moment of truth, go. Alright, interestingly, they're still moving towards Clan Scab. That works well for us. Lokhir, we have several things to do with you. First of all, Miros. I think... Wait, what do we have here? Yeah, I think we're just going to have to move on in. Let's besiege this right now. Hammering, you're going to move on in and reinforce as well in a second. Okay, we have several things that we have to do at once here. Red Blades... I don't think... Okay, yeah. I had to check those. Anyway, you are going to go here, reinforce. And we'll ignore Verin. And yes, we're nearly at 10k, which I believe is the max buff. After that, we'll pop the public order bonus. Would you please go away? He'll eventually have enough of an army to possibly attack one of these settlements.
Do not mistake me for the...
Actually, he should get destroyed as well. Do we keep following you with the Black Ark? I think we have to, unfortunately. Alright, we'll give the extra troops that are earmarked for Admiral Balthan. Oh, wait, can you go into regular stance, actually? We'll give the regular troops that are earmarked for this guy to Cammering, and then we'll have him ferry them over. Tempted by the Dark Elf residences. Let's do that, and then you can upgrade your 3.2k second tier Black Ark and do the same thing. You're fine as you are, as I don't want to pay the 2.4k for the upgrades. You will then, Admiral Conmovale, you have two things to do. First of all, go right here. Don't really need you to support, but if we could leech XP and get you to rank 10 for your name of power, that would be swell. Go right here to... Please don't tell me you're going this way. Okay, now you're good. Alright, and maintain blockade. Then we will attack. And decisive victory, low casualties. Yeah, it'll be the same kind of battle that we just had, except even worse. For the enemy, because they have way less units. I think we'll just auto-resolve this one. It's a waste of our time. Let's give evasion to Lokhir for now. You know what? Actually, give it to the Feral Manticore. It is a single entity. The melee attack doesn't matter over much on it in terms of what it already has, but it does have a tendency to get surrounded by infantry and start losing melee combat. Auto-resolve this, like so. A little bit of damage to some Black Ark Corsairs, that's fine. And then we will occupy it, just regular, much as I'd love to sack it. I'd also... Oh. No, okay, yeah, I think that was the right decision. Then, Raven Heralds are fine. Dark Pegasus for Delzus Wormscale. Do we actually want you... Wait. Dark Pegasus and... Oh, Cold One Chariot. I think not. Maybe the Dark Pegasus, but we'll keep you on the Cold One for now, I think. Wait. The Cold One mount gives you additional stats, essentially. I think I like that more right now. Might swap you to the Dark Pegasus, but I will have to consider it. And then we will have to go demand Highborn hostages here. Then, immediately... It's a likelihood that these guys can attack us immediately. I mean, they can. The question is, will they?
I Obey command.
How many units can you recruit in a single turn? 5 out of... Oh, just 3. Okay, so I would like you to talk to Lokhir, take the Dark Shards, at least for now, and the Dread Spears. Lokhir, you will build
Tower of blessed dread.
3 Black Ark Corsairs. Hammering, you're gonna need to back off this way. If you're wondering what the heck I'm doing, it's that I'm wary of both of these armies attacking us at once here. Which would be, you know, not good. You did leech the XP, which is nice. Gotta get to that rank 10. We should probably recruit from Admiral Kinwovale as well. Who will primarily have a melee Black Ark Corsair army.
Attend me.
Alright, fine. You will then take the melee Black Ark Corsairs that are already here. Keep the Ice Blades in case we get attacked. And then recruit a few more. Ah, they're so cheap in Lokhir's army. It's fantastic. Let's go 1, 2, 3. But not transfer anymore because if we have to fight off both of these armies, it's going to be, you know, iffy. You can build wine. Yeah, build it. It's not that expensive. And then you can build the Spice Market. We are trading a little bit. Keep an eye on that Skaven Corruption for the research rate as well. Here we can, you know, hold off on building anything until we got all the Black Arks with tons of troops and ready to move out. And obviously we'll, over time, delete some of the Black Ark Corsairs and replace them with other units. It's just that they're super cheap right now, and that's what we need. In Kinwovale's army, they're 97, which is still admittedly reasonably expensive, but it's at least something we can afford rather than, you know, like 300 gold per unit. Anyway, skip. Wait. These guys all need to max out this chain because it reduces the upkeep as well. It's critical. 4.8k. Get it up to tier 3. Alright, fine, do it. Do it while it's cheap to recruit. You're fine, you're upgrading, you're fine, and then Lokhir himself is going to get the, this thing as soon as he's ready. Alright, looks like we're good, end turn. Ah, what do we have here? Andreas Biber of the Reinos Pobres will declare war on us. Alright, annoying because they're in the mountains and that territory is useless to us, but not unexpected. And maybe we should cancel the wine in Verin. Alright, Scout, I kind of forgot about you again. Artillery focus, yes, we'll build some artillery for all of our Black Arks as well. But anyway, you are going up to Malice, and it looks like one more turn until you get there. Good for you. It looks like these guys did... Huh. Alright, so they're besieging. These guys have even more troops now. Just gonna have to deal with it. You can go into full speed stance, which will not allow you to get to Belmaz. Alright, so head to San Pedro de Sur first, then hopefully Belmaz. Oh wait, Belmaz is tier 1, our weakest territory. I might actually have to send an army down here. That's alright, I guess. Alright, but that doesn't change the fact that we'll want to spend some time recruiting. Now, Admiral Kinwovale, wait, do you... Let's just see, 1300 and... Yeah, okay. I wanted to see whether the cost would be different for these guys. So Kinwovale. I don't think you need the Dread Spears, to be perfectly honest. I'm to transfer them to another army, but what you do need is more Black Ark Corsairs, and we need the other Black Ark here. Oh, are you able to full speed stance all the way over here? Yes, alright, so go here, take from Kinwovale. It's gonna be a little bit odd, but, you know, we gotta transfer stuff to different armies as well. Oh, you know what? You could maybe take his Dread Spears and stuff. Take the Dread Spears and maybe the Dark Shards, although we could also give those to Hammering. Oh, you know what? Keep the Dark Shards. We will keep them in Kinwovale's army for now. Take the Dread Spears and let's say, I don't know, 5 of these guys. Like so. Spread it out a little bit. Spread the love. Anyway, you can now transfer to Kinwovale a few more of these guys. Puts him up to 16, eh? Looks good enough to me for now. Like so. And some Reaper Boltors, maybe one more Dark Shard. Otherwise, you can keep building Black Ark Corsairs like so. Like so. And like so. To transfer to both of them. Would you maybe be able to take a couple of the handbow ones as well? Since the other guys aren't nearby, you know what, take some of these. In fact, take plenty of them. Like so, beautiful. You can keep them building / recruiting. 750 for these guys. Alright, let's focus a little bit more on the melee ones for now, and we'll do the... I mean, because we're popping in the range ones in Lokhir's own army. Actually, we gotta make sure that we have enough money to actually transfer them to him, so... We'll focus melee on some of these guys, and we'll transfer the rest. Good enough to fight, I think. Oh, wow, you nearly died.
Very well.
What? You don't have an encamp stance? What the heck? What is going on here? How do you not have an encamp stance? Go to Torque Corindus, I guess, and heal up. I was gonna be transfer units. And yes, we could raid, but I don't want to raid our own territory while it's in the current shape that it's in. Alright, well, hopefully you can just take a couple of turns to heal up here. Get Root Marcher while you're at it. Alright, how are the levels on you? You need Inspiring Presence, and then you still not ranked 10, but nearly ready to go. Oh, you know what? We could also transfer... Okay, we'll do the switcheroo next turn. And the rest of this is fine. Skip. Check Diplo. I want to check the other Dark Elves for a moment. Darkness Daughters, who are you? Vampire Coast out here, but you're fighting the Decadent Host and the Servants of Myrmidus. We might have to sail a Black Ark over there to see what's going on. Scab might want a defensive alliance, and Vampiro Cabal wants peace. You have no settlements remaining. Huh. How much money would you give us for this? 6.7k. They might raid our territory, but we could tell them to get the heck out as well. You know what? Do this. Peace treaty. I want to see what they do. Will they destroy themselves attacking the Scab? At least this way we won't have to shadow them with the Black Ark. And then get the heck out of here. Trespass warning. You are then free to leave. And then get more Black Ark Corsairs. I mean, what else? Alright, that is good. And we got the money that we needed for the additional recruits before the raiding season, or not the raiding season, the combat focus ends. And, oh, actually, that also reminds me, we need to go here, recruit Black Ark, another Fleet Master, recruit. Beautiful. Dread expansion for you immediately, and then Inspiring Presence immediately, and then immediately build nothing. Alright. Fantastic. End turn. Alright, casualties captured, income from ports, good, we're gonna need it, we're gonna be negative soon. Trespass warning ignored. Hopefully they're gonna go destroy themselves attacking the Scab Rage, or maybe these guys, somebody, and then we won't have to deal with them. Technology. I'd love to get upgrade 1, but we can't quite do it yet. Let's go for the bonus control, I think, and then we'll follow it up with... Well, we do want naval training for fighting at sea for the islands, where our Black Arks move out in the speed and all that, so there's a lot of good stuff. Ooh, nearly 10k on the slave population. Fantastic as well. I just gotta keep checking that public order, though. You still not ready to collect the income? We're gonna need more torture posts. You always need more torture posts, people. I noted this earlier. Anyway, oh, and we also lost that faction-wide buff that we had earlier, but it is what it is. Admiral Balthan, I'll head on over. You, Lokhir. Okay, so this little army's pretty even now. Minus the... Okay, you know what? You are going to take the Dread Spears.
Sacrifices to Mathlan.
Yeah, you... Kenmovale is more or less fine right now, so Admiral Calith, let's leave room for heroes, or some heroes, and let's do 1, 2, 3, 15, another one, 16, yeah, heroes and artillery. Good, alright, you're ready to move. And we should actually fight Mad Melitson. Wait, would you be able to reach him? Oh, you would not. Alright, so just take a couple more units. Wait, wrong admiral. That's Kenmovale I want. You can take the healthier units, transfer to Admiral Moksha, the ones that are hurt, let him heal them. And then Kenmovale, because you're so close to reaching rank 10, if you can get that... wrong admiral. Damn it, they're in the same place. If you can get to the rest of these guys, putting you to 18 out of 20. We might have to remove one, but it's fine. Like so. And then move towards Mad Melton. In fact, I think you should be able to move close enough and then use Dread Expansion. And he will 99% likelihood attack you. Like so. Alright, do we have the buffs for the Black Ark Corsairs? Yes, we are so close to rank 10, and that will decide what other things we put in your army based on the name of power that you get. Alright, Lokhir, you're still recruiting. We're gonna go negative, but our fleets will move out and then they'll start taking in cash. You're gonna build more regular Black Ark Corsairs to start. And, wait, where's... Okay, we should actually build more out of your own army. Start building the hand bows for yourself as well, and probably for at least one of these other guys. Alright, you sit there for a turn to continue healing. Oh, the Black Arcs are not close enough. You move here, like so. And go to Dread Expansion, and then we'll immediately build your Dark Elf Manors, and we want to spend the money on the Raider Lodges. That has not changed. You're fine as you are. I'd love to upgrade these, but don't have the money. Next up, we have the Scout, who has to find Malice. I know we're doing a little bit of admin, but it'll be worth it, because we gotta move out afterwards. Go find Malice. We should have Ogres and Darkblade here. And an island, which we can't pick up with you, but alas. Hey, there we go. There's Malice. Ooh, and islands if we should send a Black Ark here. Alright, so you don't want to be friends as yet, but that's alright. Is there anybody else here that we care about finding? I mean, we could become friends with the Chaos Dwarfs in theory, so we could sail down the river. Maybe that's a decent option. There's the Ogres as well, potentially. I'm sure they'll work with us. Alright, and I believe we're good, yes? Wait, Mad Maltson, you're not near to these guys, are you? No, you're only near to Kinwovale. Who can get the Armor of Darkness for now. Power Stone should go to... Oh, she has a Forbidden Rod, alright, so nothing else. I take it we don't have any capacities for any other heroes? We do not. Experienced Mariner. Leadership when fighting at sea for the army. Yeah, maybe we should get some experienced mariners in the Sons of Murder once we have capacities. Otherwise, we are good to end the turn and see what happens. Can't believe these guys are still besieging. And I wonder what happened to their second army. End turn. Hey, there it is. Mad Mulletson, unsurprisingly, will indeed attack us as predicted. The Feral Mammoth and the Chaos Frost Dragon are both going to be major issues, and admittedly the Skin Wolves are as well, but, well, let's just hope that we can pull it off. We should hopefully have enough damage. Let's find out for sure. Go. Show no mercy indeed. Alrighty, here we go. Gotta give thanks to Mr. Mad Mulletson for attacking us and being mad enough to attack a Black Ark in the first place, especially with an army only of this size. And by the looks of it, this is a pretty big Black Ark. They do run various sizes. There is no standard sort of Black Ark, but the standard model that we get in this game is a pretty darn decently sized one, obviously not to the degree of a full-on Dark City Black Ark like the ones that make up the Anagarothi cities, but nonetheless. Anyway, should be a pretty darn fun fight and a pretty difficult one, as we are gonna have a difficult time dealing with at least some of our foes. I also feel like when defending, the Black Ark armies should all have Vanguard deployment when defending, as in if the enemy is attacking onto the Black Ark, you should be able to deploy your Black Ark defending army wherever you want. They're inside the Ark here. You should, yeah, you get it. But anyway, we have separated our units into 3 different lines of Black Ark Corsairs and have rushed towards the sort of impassable terrain bits here. We're going to try to bog down the enemy monsters, namely the enemy Feral Mammoth and the enemy Frost Worm as soon as we can, and hopefully allow our Dark Shards and our, well, I guess our Lord as well, to pincushion them as best they can. All the while we hold back the Skin Wolves, Marauder Champions, and Berserkers with our own. Although our own units are pretty darn berserk as well. Look at that. Marauder Berserkers have 61 melee attack. We have 78 on the Black Ark Corsairs. Lots of buffs on them, of course, especially in this army, but it's pretty darn good. Of course, our melee defense is low, so the enemy Berserkers will be cutting our units down in droves, I'm sure, as well. But on the bright side, they haven't been able to make their way past our main line, so they have lost one of their ringers. The Mammoth has fallen, and it's time to activate the Black Ark support bombardment as well. We gotta try to clear out at least a few of the enemy troops. Now that the Mammoth has fallen, we will try to tie up the enemy Frostworm with our... Frost Dragon, whatever, with our units of Black Ark melee Corsairs, all the while the Dark Shards try to obliterate it, and fairly successfully, by the looks of it. Not enough missile and physical resistance to survive the administrations of those Dark Elven crossbows. Beautiful. Second big boy down and the major threats destroyed. The bounce power has shifted to about 65% in our favor, but there's still very much a fight in this. We have one of our units which is routed and is rallied, so we're going to send it around the enemy army to hit him in the back or to run down fleeing troops as needed. On the front lines, we can see various units of Twin Blades are down to between 50 and 20% of their HP, so they're certainly having a little bit of trouble with the Berserkers and probably the Skin Wolves and Marauder champions. Well, lots of solid melee line under Mad Mulletson, I will admit. But eventually we should overcome them. And you also got to remember that, look at that. Melee attack up to 103 now, thanks to the Murderous Prowess buffing it up, so we should cut them down. Alright, quick. Including when they run away, as with that, Mad Mulletson's army will break. I believe Mulletson himself was either cut down or shot down, and we should have decent speed on our units. 40 compared to the 41 of the Berserkers. Ooh, they're roughly the same speed, aren't they? Huh. Norskins run as fast as elves do. It's kind of interesting. Go figure. Well, good for them. Good for them. So that means at least a few of the units will escape, but the ones that were in the melee up close are still going to take a massive amount of damage or otherwise and get cut down. Alright, anyway, I don't imagine too many of Mad Mulletson's Norskin force has escaped, and they got us this lovely little fight and the much-needed cash that it will bring. Alright, fantastic. Some much-needed money and much-needed XP, which will hopefully take us to rank 10. Yes, get that name of power. Do that addictive gambling with the Lord's abilities. Yes, alright, perfect. And we will take as much money as we possibly can, rather than healing, because we gotta keep on recruiting, even if we're going negative. Lovely work from Admiral Convovale and our first raiding fleet. Alright, let's see what we got. So, Treasury, War Banner, ooh, nice find. Yes, and we will definitely get some use out of that. We have an unusual location here. And what do we have this? Cult of Pleasure. Just general Cult of Pleasure. Unit experience gain plus 100, character experience gain plus 100 per turn. Astonish Corruption is 100 or more. We get, each turn there's a 10% chance to spawn Astonish Cult in one of your regions, excluding this region. Immunity to diplomatic penalties. Each turn, there's a 2% chance to spawn a Sonic Skeleton in one of your regions, excluding this region. Huh. This is kind of terrible. When normally killed in action, your lords will be wounded instead. That's nice, and I guess the diplomatic penalty immunity from trespassing is nice as well. But honestly, this isn't good enough to be worth our time. We will delete it as soon as we have a little bit of spare cash. So, yeah, seems to be we're only getting negative ones so far in the form of the Doomsphere, the unstable Doomsphere and incomplete Doomsphere, whatever version of the Doomsphere it is, and the other one. But it's all good. We'll deal with it. Also, we need to pay attention to these guys. Are you at war with anybody? Just Scab. It's interesting that they're not going for Scab. They're still trying to annoy us, but it might be because of the fact that Scab is under siege by Siegfried here. Anyway, gambling. Improves the Lord's army, improves the Lord's own combat skills. No, always improve army. I don't know if these have been made better, but yeah, Lord's army. Let's see what we got. So, first we have Life Quencher, which is Sisters of Slaughter and Witch Elves, which is nice. What about the other one? Grimgaze, Blackguard of Nagarond, Fear, and this is actually kind of terrible because Blackguard of Nagarond are already heavily armored and 25 armor doesn't make them all that much better. I'm gonna say sacrifice your sister and get to the Witch Elves. Fair enough. Which it'll actually work nicely with this because I was saying this is gonna be a melee Corsair army. Well, we'll combine melee Twin Blade Corsairs with melee Twin Dagger. Probably Witch Elves rather than Sisters of Slaughter, but I'll think about it. The Sisters of Slaughter are the more defensive units, and they will provide us a nice bleed application in the front line here. But considering the massive melee attack on their twin blades, it kind of makes sense. But anyway, let's give this a read. Death Knight, everybody's favorite holiday, looms over the Druchii. As the hour approaches, you receive a vision from Cain, who expects a great sacrifice if his favor is to be bestowed upon you. Those most valuable to you would make the best sacrifices, your sister or your closest guard. Choose who is to die on this faithful night. A sister is a valuable sacrifice, well-known and well-loved. Emotion brings power to proceedings. Bring her before the Witch Elves in chains. Her blood will win the favor of the brides of Cain, ensuring our future victories. Lovely. And upkeep reduction, ward save, and all that. And I guess that means we will have to go for the Altar of Cain here. And do we want to start it up right now? I don't know. Are you able to chase this guy down? No. Huh. Maybe it's actually a good thing that you're not, because he's going to run away, and we will maybe chase him down. Anyway, this means that you are good to probably transfer away some of these units then. Alright, he won't be then using the Dark Shards. We're probably going to have trouble with monsters in this army, but, you know, Witch Elf army and all that. Admiral Moksha. Hold on to, I don't know, the lower tier ones? Oh, wait, no, these Dark Shards. And you can go into Dread Expansion. I might transfer more out, but let's at least build the Altar of Cain for now. So we can get a few of them in here. I don't want to do too many because they're going to be a little bit more expensive to run than the Black Ark Corsairs, which are pretty cheap right now. Alright, Lokhir, your recruitment continues. Who needs what? Alright, so you have the Dread Spears and all that. You, Admiral Calith, are actually good. You just need artillery, and oh, we need to get artillery focus up and running. So you're actually free to move out and swap places with Admiral Balthanol. So, Balthanol, go here. Calith, you are going to full speed stance and move. You're good to go. Go forth and find your fortune elsewhere in the world. I might even send this guy down into the long way around and have him go where Malice is. We saw a bunch of islands out there, and there is a lot of spawn places around here. There's Yumi's to raid out here, and Tomb Kings, which might be an interesting option. But yeah, after noticing all these islands, I feel like we should probably pick at least a few of them up. Alright, there's also the Skaven here, which are friends with Malice, meaning we might be friendly with them as well. Should we desire some Skaven units, they might be willing to be trading partners on top of that. Scab, I'm still going to continue ignoring. Although, at this point, they're not a threat in taking territory we want, so maybe we are free to go for the defensive alliance with them. Start racking up those points and see what's happening here. Not going to do the military alliance. What do we have? Defenses are solid. I'm actually surprised that the AI isn't trying to attack here. They've got Plague Monks, they got good stuff. We could move to bail them out, but frankly, we're a little bit busy recruiting and stuff, so I don't think we're going to do so immediately. Anyway, you're building your Shrine of Cain, and you've got your Name of Power. You can also go for Ship's Navigator, more upkeep reduction. Casualty or punishment rate, yes. Enables magical attacks for the entire army, yes, yes. Now I'm talking like a Skaven. Well, after the Skaven campaign, it does make sense. And this I need to think about. Every Black Ark can either faction-wide buff +4 power reserve capacity, which is strong. Vigor loss reduction is really strong in SFO, and it's for all monsters. The main issue with this is that we need a lot of Black Arks to make this count. If we use, basically, if we go for this, we have to commit to it, more or less, and just use it on all the Black Arcs. I do like the ammunition for our own armies faction-wide, since we're using Black Arc Corsairs with handbows, and they do run out. Casualty or punishment, or casualties captured post-battle is really nice as well, because we're kind of reliant on it, so certainly something to think about. For now, though, let's get the bonuses when defending first, and then we'll go for Unstoppable after. And beautiful. This should be a fun army. Admittedly, the sacking thing needs to be armies of influence, so you should in theory be near Lokhir, so I think we'll keep you sort of nearby while Lokhir deals with this stuff, and then maybe the port's out here, but the rest will sail out elsewhere. Anyway, speaking of Lokhir, yo, keep building stuff. Let's go for 3. Oh, for the love of, I didn't mean to click that. 1. Why are you moving down like that? The heck, game. 2 and 3, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3. Can still afford it. We can also transfer more. Nobody's going to attack us here, and we can build more. All right, I think we'll do that. Admiral Moksha, take stuff.
The ocean awaits.
Go for 3 and 3. Gotta remember, we got the these ones coming, or this one coming in as well. And Cammering, you got 1 more turn, and then you'll be ready to Moonrose. Beautiful. Alrighty. Fellheart. Ooh, wait. We can build another one of these. So physical resistance, charge defense versus large for Black Arc Corsairs. I am tempted by that. Versus speed and missile resistance. Ah, those are both really good. What's our speed currently at? It's at 40, so the extra speed is not inconsiderable. Another 8 speed will make them move a fair bit faster. Physical resistance will make them tankier. I think in the early game, the physical resistance and charge defense is better, and then in the late game, the speed will be better. So I think that's what we'll do. We'll do the rum depot first, and then later on we'll destroy it and then replace it with the other thing. Yeah. Alright, well, that decides that. You also have a point. Capable first mate, enemy charge bonus reduction. Lovely. Okay, so now you can recruit more, so keep on recruiting. Let's do 1 and 1. And then the artillery will be built by others, and then you can build 1 and 1. Fantastic. Alright, we're going to be like minus 2,000 shortly, so we really need these guys to get a move on and attack and fight stuff. But there's also probably a limited amount of time until these guys start moving out. But fortunately, we can sack their territories for money. I think maybe 2 more turns recruiting, and then we gotta go. 5, 6, 7, meaning we can... we'll be 3 short, but I think maybe we'll pop this off now. Just for the to fix the control everywhere. Go, perform right. It started to drop in a few places. Alrighty, and looking good, and I'd love to spend the money on some other stuff and develop our territories, but we're looking good with our raiding fleets, who should be able to do stuff soon. Anyway, that's another end turn. Alright, we're at minus 1,000 now. LA begins outpost construction. Faction destroyed. Scab. Oh! Huh, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought they'd win. Well, I guess we have to catch Siegfried Schmidt out now. So, Admiral Caliph, you are going here. Another admiral will go here. I'm sure there's a bunch of other islands. Another admiral will go here. Another admiral will go here. Yeah, so we've got lots of places to be. And that's unfortunate. Enhanced death... hags. Wait, are we able to actually get death hags now? In Wovale. That's Sons of Murder, we are not. Huh. Well, this is all great, but we can't actually recruit them. Wait, unless we can on land. No. Well then, screw you, game. What is this? Lokhir. This is more or less fine, minus the fact that we don't really need the non-handbow variant. Although, they do slice and dice pretty nicely. Maybe keep them. Maybe we should just start moving.
Lord of the Black
Maybe a few more things to Moksha. Alright, maybe one last turn. So Moksha, take the... Yeah, I'd like Moksha to start moving out as well. Take the Black Arc Corsairs with handbows, like so. Trade away the Dread Spears. This will put you to 16. Maybe one more. 17. And then some artillery and stuff. And then heroes, and yeah, again, some stuff will get replaced. But yeah, anyway. Alright, Moksha, I think you're good now. Get a move on. You can march stance, and wait, do you need to build anything critically? Well, actually, you need to start going through line breaker ASAP, because, yeah. Wait, 6 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's gonna bother me. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah, that's fine. That's fine, it'll work. What do you need here? Oh, you need the Dark Elf Manors. Alright, but I think I'd rather have you move out and then deal with stuff. So you are going up this way, Moksha. Full speed stance.
A brief interlude.
Catch, kill, annoy, etc. Hopefully there's an island or two to pick up here. Alright, Lokhir. You have Admiral Balthenhall moving in to get ready to move out to where he needs to be. Kenwovale is going to stay near you, but we'll have him... How much does it cost to recruit the Death Hags, Witch Elves right now? They're not too expensive to upkeep, but recruitment is expensive, and I think we'll wait on it. We'll have you take DM on Terra, I think, while Lokhir deals with probably this army as it moves out. So one last turn of recruitment, sir. Yeah, alrighty. And I'll probably transfer the Dread Spears to this little army with that 1 unit of Dark Shards. Why not? Probably could have given it to the to this army. That would have... Yeah, whatever. All good. All good for now. Anyway, you. It's risky putting it up to 2,000, but anyway, you need to restock your piles of Black Ark Corsairs who... Oh. Don't get us high rank for recruitment anymore, but they'll rank up fairly quickly in Lokhir's army, let's be real. 1, 2, and 3. That maxes out the army for now, minus the Dread Spears. Okay, you know what? Can you just please somebody take the Dread Spears away? Yeah, are you not able to move anymore? Are you able to? Wait. Damn it. Whatever. We'll just replace them later on or transfer them. And then Cameron, you can start moving on in. Go to Miros. We'll be ready to get a move on next turn, and then we just need to find some money. Alright. Skip. Last turn of recruitment, end turn. Alright, minus 1.7k. Ooh, do you hear the whispers? Ugh, the research rate is gonna really hurt, but what can you do? It's a great buff. Ugh, hopefully we can overcome it. Anyway, let's overcome the debuff aspect of it. Anyway, scout. Keep on scouting. Now, we have a massive money loss. We can no longer recruit. We need to start fighting. Turns so we can redeclare war on you. Oh, we can't tell. Darn. Because we told them to get the heck out of here, but then... They really need to fix that. Like, if we declare war on them right now, our reliability will tank to nothing, because that's the way the game works for some silly reason. Anyway, Lokhir, you are going to Scab Reach. Right there. And we'll attack them next turn. Hopefully we can reach them next turn. We'll find out. I assume so. Should we go into their territory? Oh, we'd have to... Well, I guess we can encamp. Alright, go here as close to them as you can, and then we'll move Cameron in as a reinforcement, / as a leech. Try to get him to rank 10. Admiral Kenwovale, you... I was going to send you to DM on Terra. Wait, are you able to kill this off now? Okay, just free money. We need it. Go grab this. Let's hope that this doesn't do too much in the way of damage. It's something, but not all that crazy. I'd love to take the cash, but this army won't heal itself well yet, so I think we need to take the healing. Alrighty, and to make sure that you heal yourself well, we gotta get those Dark Elf Manors up and running. Training Elf Raiders destroyed, but they'll be back. Right unlocked, sacrifice to Cain. Casualties, income from post-battle loot. Oh, this will be quite nice, actually. Yes, right, will become available after 3 turns. I think we'll pop that off now that we have the slave income. And now we can also use diktats when we need them. Our public order will be okay as long as our sacrifice to authority is up and running, so we can start collecting money here to counteract some of the terrible money losses we have. Not quite true of this territory, but we do have enough to pop off a plus 25 control diktat once the money drops off here, so I think we'll do that. Yes, and then we won't invest in this territory too much as yet because we need to deal with all of this stuff. Kenwovale. We're going to move you to DM on Terra, which means that we'll use Balthenhall to support Lokhir. For now.
vicious
And these guys probably have another full stack running around, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. And both in all, you can dread expansion, and I would like to see 1.6k. It's a little bit on the expensive side. We should invest in the Warriors Hall, however, because it will make your units cheaper. Do you have one? Okay, no, you need to actually upgrade your Black Ark. Is that the last one? Oh, you. Out of curiosity. You're fine, at least for now. Alrighty, and head on out, bud. You got islands to pick up. You should be strong enough to deal with stuff. You're going to be in that sailing for a while, unfortunately, but just have to deal. Anyway, skip, and then we'll fight Siegfried next turn. He's got some okay stuff here, and he is in scab reach, but good luck to him. Let's just... Oh, I forgot the scout, didn't I? Looks like they moved away. Alright, that's a little bit annoying, but we can reach them, so it's no real problem. Camring, you're going to reinforce... Oh, wow, you're rank 10. Good for you. Siegfried Schmidt, you're about to die, sir. And you are currently at war with nobody. Well, that's about to change. Can't let you keep those diamonds, and you did destroy Clan Scab, but they served their purpose of distracting you while we dealt with other problems, so... Yes, Schmidt's Renegades, you're next. They also don't like us very much, so there's a decent likelihood that they would have eventually attacked us anyway. And Druki first strike, Lokhir. Go.
Death to the land mongrels!
Death to the land mongrels? I agree. Death to the land mongrels. And we'll go for the Banner of Eternal Flame on, I believe it was the... let's put it on the Ice Blades, because I find it funny. And they'll take more hits. This Dread Spear unit's gonna bother me while it's here, but anyway, just go, just go. Alrighty, here we go with the Wamphiro Cabal out of the picture. It's time to focus on the Vampire Coast. And the first thing to be focused on is the most critical unit, the Deck Gunners, who are one of the most fragile, possibly the most fragile unit in the game, not counting explosive units like the... Super Squig and the Bloated Corpse and all that, but they get instantly wiped out by the rubric of Dark Dimensions. Otherwise, we Vanguard deployed and simply bum-rushed the entire enemy army, trying to close the distance with all those handguns and bombers and really any zombie-powered gunnery mob units, so that they can't gun us down. Most of the enemies not being hybrid units are also going to have a rather difficult time fighting our hybrid units in melee, which should be able to cut the range down with no trouble. This is also, I guess, the debut of the Ice Blades, which do look pretty good. I like the fact that they apply Frostbite, and on top of that, I do like their dual color scheme that they've got here. It's nice. Well, they can sort of act as the linchpin in this army until we trade them away to another army that will make use of them. I'm just hoping to get a name of power that is a significant buff to things like... I'm pretty sure there's at least one name of power that buffs Dread Spears and Bleak Swords. And I do want to make a Bleak Sword army work. Terrible unit though they are. That said, it looks like this is going to be a darn quick fight as the enemy gets completely overrun. The Vampire Coast has relatively fragile units, especially if the AI is unwilling to use piles of zombies to get in our way. And they don't have anything that would be a good counter to what we have here, like Rotting Leviathans would probably be at least something of an issue just because they're insanely tanky. But, well, obviously it's too early game for that. Although, admittedly, with all the anti-large we have on our handbows, we would have been able to bring one down. The Depth Guard with twin axes, though, they should have been able to cut down a fair few of our Black Ark Corsairs. Mincing low-tier infantry is kind of their game, so... And the twin axes would be a fair threat to the Twin Blades, and I'm sure we'll meet many of them over the course of the campaign, whether it be against actual factions or when we find some nice Skull Islands to plunder. All right, there we go. Much needed cash flow. It's 4 turns worth of money for our trouble, and very nice once again to the Black Kar Corsairs. The twin blades in this army will be slowly but surely replaced by the creeping dread, but it's going to take a bit. For now, we will ransom those captives. Lovely.
My slave decks are full.
All right, hey, another envoy. And can envoys go to heroes, or do they have to go to lords? Envoy, Lord, Death Hag, and Master. All right, Master it is. We'll just need a few more and put those right. You, other Master, take the one from Lokhir because he needs space for other stuff. Now, you, Lokhir,
To me.
need to, let's say, march stance, just in case. Get as close to this place as possible so that we can reach it, and then Cameron, you can follow along. Lovely. Then, Admiral Kenwovale, you are going to go to Diamantera, like so. And close victory. I think we're going to have to fight this because if we don't, we'll take a lot of casualties, and I'm 99.9% sure these guys have other armies running around. But in the meantime, let's move out Admiral Moksha. We're not going to go into March stance because I don't trust it. Or full speed stance, rather. And we got to see what's going on out here. These guys have 5 territories, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the 5th? Huh. This is not their territory because it's red. I guess they took something else. Do you have any other territories? Just the one. Interesting. Alright, well, we'll keep an eye on that. Anybody want to be a trade partner? Alas, right now, no, and nobody wants to confederate. Not going to... Oh, I know where their 5th one is. It's right here. It's in Malok's lair. Are islands ocean... One weird thing, a really weird thing I noticed. Uninhabitable ocean. Ocean. Uninhabitable for the Black Kar Corsair factions. The guys that live on the ocean. Not even on islands on the ocean. Actually on the ocean in their Black Arcs. And most of them are there pretty much year-round, except when they go back to Karond Kar to offload their slave cargo and their wealth, or their riches, whatever plunder they get. So what the heck are you talking about, game? Absolute insanity. But anyway, let's keep going. There's some silly things like the dwarfs not being able to finding hills unpleasant, but Badlands, flat Badlands pleasant, but hills unpleasant. Yeah, Black Kar Corsairs finding ocean unpleasant takes the cake. And every single one of them worships Mathlan at that, and sacrifices regularly to Mathlan, the sea god. But anyway, let us move Kenwovale, and he really needs some heroes and some other stuff, but for now, you gotta do what you gotta do. And wait, does this have a defensive structure? Diamantera does not, okay. Field battle. Unfortunately, we'll just have to run at the enemy because we don't have any, unfortunately, Drugi first strike for you. But it's alright, yeah.
Honor the king.
There is no room for weakness.
Alrighty, here we go. Now, unfortunately, this army doesn't have the ability to rely on any ranged, and on top of that, no ability to rely on Vanguard deployments, so we're just going to have to deal with this as best we can, and, well, I guess similarly to Lokhir's fight, bum rush the enemy, and gotta tie up all those range units as fast as we can. Now, the Rotting Prometheans are going to be something of an issue here. Sorry, I had to mute myself so I didn't sneeze into the mic, and oh, that made us slow down of the camera. I guess that's the same hotkey. Well, I guess we're going with the slow camera this time around. Anyway, the bum rush will continue until morale improves. Black Arc support comes down on the enemy handguns because a lot of our main line is busy, and the units that are going to rush the enemy's back line are moving towards them rather slowly because they were on the flanks. As I was saying, the Rotting Prometheans, the monstrous infantry, highly defensive and going to take a while to bring down, but they also do comparatively little damage. It is not the Rotting Promethean gunnery mob variant, and thus our lord should be able to distract them just fine. We've tied up the bombers, and we've started to do massive damage to both melee and missile troops at this point. I like. Very nice. The mount's power has shifted to, well, maybe about 60% in our favor, maybe even 55. Still going to take a fair bit of effort, and that effort has redoubled as we get that 50% melee attack increase, thanks to murderous prowess. Now it's time for those twin blades to get to work. Maybe they have to prove themselves before the witch elves are willing to come out of the Cainite temple on the Black Ark and join the fray. There has to be a proper slaughter given in the name of Cain before the witch elves join us. Feels appropriate. Alrighty, now that we have torn through the enemy handguns and such, we can have those spare units join the melee and rear charge the enemy. Though it looks like it won't be much needed anymore. The enemies begin melting away. The Vampire Fleet Captain and Admiral are still in the fight, but completely surrounded and not for much longer. And with that, one final blow. Oh, wow. That's a great shot. It's like a, I guess it's like a death blow sort of deal, but I think the Black Ark Corsair wins here. It looks like the Vampire Fleet Admiral impales the Corsair through the shoulder, but for her trouble, loses her head. Oh, that's fantastic. I always get annoyed at this thing, like you can't hide it, like you can hide the menu during the battle, because there's always it's often that we get fantastic little final shots at the end of this, and I always want to take a screenshot of that, but oh well, that's a great shot and a final blow for, at the very least, the enemy lord. Alright, admittedly not a lot of money from this place, but that's alright. We could loot and occupy it and ignore the public order penalty to get the additional cash for our trouble. We could also just sack it and, I mean, maybe that's the safer thing to do right now, as it wouldn't then put this Black Ark in danger. You know what, let's sack it for now. We will take the place, but if we're going to take it to tier 1 anyway, maybe it doesn't matter over much. And then you have already moved over here. Conmoville, you won't be in range of Ciernos, which we want to move in and sack as well, so just keep traveling north. We could also just immediately occupy it, but we could do that with another unit or another army, so maybe it's fine. Alright, Conmoville, here. Both of you move together, at least for now. And then one of you will continue on north, sacking the coastline as you go, and then we'll see. And we just need enough money generation to start investing in our territories, thereby to make money, and thereby to make more units for more fleets. Gotta play Lokhir appropriately, after all. Anyway, speaking of Lokhir, you got another level, another point. Weapon strength for Black Ark Corsairs faction-wide. Yes, please. Alright, fantastic. And the rest can wait, unless you're level 10. Nope, you're level 9, but you're getting there. Skip, 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 and then turn. Alright, no attacks in reprisal as yet, and I see these guys aren't here yet. They're probably moving towards us, but it might take a while. San Luis has a fairly decent pile of troops. If we were able to force them to fight in the field... Oh, damn it, I accidentally clicked on it. If we were able to force them to fight in the field, we would be able to destroy them, or sack it, ideally. Let's see what this says. Close victory, medium casualties. I wonder if they'd sally out. We could fight it in the field, but it would take a long time to break through the enemy gates. They're willing to go and, well, peace out, but I don't think we're willing. Huh. Wait, are you able to reinforce a blockade? I don't even know. I guess let's find out. And just out of curiosity. If you do this and another Black Ark is nearby, you... don't reinforce. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Well, that's not a big deal, though. You can go into Dread Expansion and take the time to... Oh, it's next turn. Well, then I guess you can't. Alright, well then just sit there, buddy. Otherwise, we get a little bit of cash on hand now. Not enough, mind you, but a little bit. I would like Lokhir to go in and, I guess, sack or raise Scab Reach? I could sack it. I just have a gold mine, which... Does this do anything for us faction-wide? Recruitment for all units on armies in province. If only it wasn't for the fact that it's a red territory, which means local recruitment duration +1. But nonetheless, we can get some use out of this territory. I think it's a waste of time to attack... Well, actually, I wonder... You're gonna run, but how far will you run? Find out. Hopefully it goes here instead of looping around. Oh! I should have moved in the other lord. I didn't expect him to sit there, but anyway. Auto-resolve. And take the cash, because we're going to be in our own territory. Ran some captives. It's not much cash. Well... It's really not much cash. You know what? Enslave instead. Then we want you to, I guess, occupy. Wait, you have to sack it first. Wait, you have to reinforce it first. Wait, you have to besiege it first. Good lord. Alrighty. Yeah, that's what you think before you leap, folks. Or look before you leap. Shut up. I almost had it. You go here. And then you will sack it. Auto-resolve. And sack. And you just had to go that way, didn't you? And then you will march stance out back to our own territory. And Cammering will occupy. Fantastic. Negative public order, but we will have no public order like so. We will delete the conscription halls because they serve no purpose. We're not going to... Well, we could pop off a dictat, but we could also do that once the public order sort of deals with itself. Also, I think we should probably delete this, but maybe give it a little bit of time. Although, if it spreads, it's just going to be another annoyance to deal with. Maybe right now it would be good before it spreads to our own territory. Wait, does it need another... Like, each turn there's a 2% chance of spawn slash to one of your region, excluding this region. You know what, I'm going to say no. Goodbye. It's expensive, but I don't want to deal with it. Let's see what else we've got. Admiral Kaleth is still moving for 3 more turns. Good lord. Almost regret sending you out there rather than southward into the Maelstrom, but well, we'll have more Black Arcs to send to the Maelstrom as soon as we capture San Luis, or as soon as we have the opportunity to recruit a little bit more. And send Admiral Balthin all out. Yeah. How many territories do you have? Alright, so we'll just sack and raise our way through these mountains because we don't want their territory, and... Huh. Aversion past treaties with Wamphiro Cabal, they have the, all-faction tolerance. Man, it'd be really interesting to ally with the Lizardmen as the Dark Elves. Unlikely, but interesting idea. Anyway. Buildings. We have a little bit of cash to spend, and I feel like we should spend it. Spice generation, yeah, fine. Let's do at least a few of these places. We're not gonna upgrade Belmos, because that's where the Doom Sphere is. How's that? Oh, Escape and Corruption is dropping. It'll just disappear when it goes to 0, won't it? Wait. Oh, we have -20 due to the dangerous winds. Damn you, game. Alright, well, whatever. We'll ignore it for now. Here we can upgrade the livestock pens. Here we can upgrade the salt. And here we can... Maybe it's time to start building money buildings. Now that we have over 10,000, we're good. So let's go for Artisan's House. Why not? It is time. I don't dislike the idea. This could be upgraded to tier 2. Darkhold. This is not needed in Magrita, and we'll ignore it otherwise. This is all fine, but we will want to upgrade the port and the pottery, and... Do we need an Artisan's House in the main territory? It'd be a little bit more money. Yeah, maybe. Alright, fine. Oh, or a Shrine of Cain. We do need capacities. You know, let's just wait on that, because we do need more heroes. Let's upgrade... Oh, yeah, I was about to say upgrade Belmos immediately after saying we don't need to upgrade Belmos. Skip. And diplomacy check real quick. Darkness Daughters still want to be friends, but I'd wager they'll be dead soon, so they won't matter. Ah, trade agreements are here. Alright, so Shadow Legion, Wormkin's Death Toll. Who are Death Toll? They are not super... They're friendly with... Trading with Clan Ricket and Clan Pestilence, eh? I don't really care about the territories out here as yet. Maybe we'll do a trade agreement with these guys. Ogres. I would like some ogre units if possible. Maybe. Dark Elves don't really play well with others, let's be real here, but anyway. Wormkins are fighting Ghost of Pawash and Court of Libaras, and would be a trade agreement possibility. Frankly, I'd rather trade with Harganeth and the other Dark Elven factions until they're ready to confederate, but this will increase our relationship with them, which would help out, so maybe we'll wait till we can trade with them. And the increase to the trade goods we're making should help out with that. Anyway, end turn. Hey, Research 8 Technologies, free Talisman of Preservation and Potion of Healing. Ooh, when a Lokhir gets to rank 20 and he has Lokhir, he is gonna be really ready. We'll swap out the Black Amulet for the Talisman of Preservation, I guess. Reducing his ward save and physical resistance and melee attack by 8. But his melee attack is already pretty darn high, so maybe it doesn't matter over much. And Black Dragon Egg. Huh. You know what? He has a regeneration, so maybe we'll hold off on the Potion of Healing, because this is a pretty solid buff to him. And I don't see why we would just straight up give it up. It's a lot of she giggle. But anyway, Nemesis Crown, whatever, we'll deal with it when we get anywhere near there. I wish I knew how many turns it's been since we, you know, pieced out with these guys, because I have absolutely no idea. Has it been 10 turns? This would be a good opportunity to kill the army off. I mean, we could just risk it. It will mean that nobody, if the reliability tanks, I guess it just tanks. Harganeth, not willing to trade. Are you at war with anybody, Harganeth? Where are you? You're at war with the Hunts Marshal's expedition. You know what? What if we join the war?
But choose your words with care.
You're willing to trade then. You know what, we'll do that. Let's trade with Crone Hellebrand. Alright, and you know what, let's try to do the same thing. I'm just worried about our relationships with everybody tanking, so I want to get the agreements going before we do. You're at war with the Sires of Morcane. Join war? 2.4k. It's a little bit on the expensive side, Malice. Come on, man. What about the 1,000 Maws? They're pretty strong. They're fighting Wulfric the Wanderer. And 1.7k. It'll pay for itself eventually, both with reputation and money directly. Fine. Though it bothers me to do so. And I guess we'll have to wait on Malice, because he's going to be too expensive now, I think. Is it still 2.4k? Yeah, it's still 2.4k. Again, it'll pay for itself, but I don't want to drop that low on money. Alright, well, let's find out. Can't have these guys keeping on raiding our territory. Maybe it's been 10 turns. I feel like it hasn't. Alright, so notice, it doesn't say anything about the 10% or about the reliability tanking. Please have been 10 turns. It is not. Ah. I'd reload, but I'm too lazy to do so. It's just, yeah, whatever. They really need to fix that. Well, it'll recover. And come on, we're Dark Elves. Huh. This actually would... Huh. Actually, while reliability is low, this is a decent time to go southward and betray Nakari and take his stuff. The speed bonus to the army would also be pretty nice, so there's a good reason to wipe him out. Certainly something to think about. We just, we still need to wipe the guy. Ooh, an Extinguished Phoenix spinning. We'd still need to wipe these guys out, though. That hasn't changed. Anyway, kill this off. Annoying though it may have been. Hey, a Banner of Swiftness, that's going on Lokhir. Yes, please. Let's speed max him on Lokhir, which is already fairly quick, but it can be quicker. Banner of Swiftness for you. War Banner's going on you as well, and we will take your, I guess, Evil Choir Master. Sad as that may be. Everyone deserves an Evil Choir Master. Anyway, I'd love to move southward towards Nakari, because we have to go towards these guys anyway, so it's a good time to betray all of Nakari's agreements and just obliterate our reliability. But mountains first. So, Lokhir. March stance up here to Ciernos. Cammering. Move towards Ciernos as well. And we'll ignore that, well, actually, somewhat ignore. We can still invest in some of the territories here. 3,000 gold, all of them will be upgraded, isn't it lovely? Then, surprisingly, these guys didn't attack. I guess we will start moving Admiral Moksha back to Diamantera. We'll have you take it then. Or would it be better to have you attack attack San Luis rather than the giant pile of melee troops? Actually, if we wait 2 turns, it'll be at tier 4 and it'll be more worth it. Actually, if we don't sack it, it'll be at tier 4, so we could capture it at tier 3 with the Lokhir if we wanted to, which is actually pretty nice. Damn. Alright, fine. You're gonna go back here to Diamantera. You are going to abandon this and allow it to upgrade. Retreat. So that we can take it at a higher level. And then you will go your separate ways. I'd really like to find some islands. Melok's Lair. Oh, that's a free occupy. We'll grab that for ourselves while we're here. Maybe not even sack it, just straight up take it. We also have a new tech available, which I believe finally is time for the speed of the naval training. +4 melee attack when fighting at sea. I'm gonna say speed first. Questions later. Alrighty. What else we got here? And 2 more turns until Admiral Calith arrives. You are going up the Uzkolak Canal. Oh my lord, that's gonna be a long time. Wait. Where will this take us again? This will take us up here to the Cathians. I wonder how they'll feel about us. Potential ally, but anyway, just keep on scouting potential factions that we could be allies with, especially factions that are so far away from us that we will never bother going up there. Anyway, let's continue to ignore Belmaz, at least for now. You are good in tier 2 everywhere. Let's upgrade the crafting district. Gotta be careful about, starting to lose out on the economy here, but otherwise we're good. Magritte, I don't think we can afford to upgrade you as yet, but we can build the artisan's house here. Scabreach, you're actually going to not collect income for a while because your public order will be horrendous. You will need torture posts, but you'll also need growth. At least to tier 2. Well, actually, you'll just grow yourself. So, you know what? Let's just leave you alone. We'll never collect income there. We'll use that territory for capacities, most likely. Even with the presence of the gold mines. Just not worth it. You know what? Let's go for the iron here. Yes. And I think that's it. You know what? Maybe we can build the... Is it all regions in the province? Wait. Slaves used by buildings, it's a local region only. Income from slaves plus 20% all regions in the province, but if we don't build the slave income in this particular territory, then we won't need that. And we probably will here, so this is a good place to do it. But anyway, for now, we'll save the rest of the minimal amount of cash that we got in turn. Alrighty, looks like no further attacks. The Savage Blow charge bonus for our units actually would be quite helpful for Admiral Ken Wovale, so why not? Let's move you close to Malok's Lair, and then we should just be able to auto-resolve Occupied, because it has barely any defenders. Close victory, but this is garbage. Auto-resolve. Hopefully we'll just heal just fine. And much as I'd love to sack it... Wait, it was tier 2, meaning no matter what, we'll... Oh. I guess we could sack and occupy then. Yeah, fine. Sack it and occupy it. Because we're taking it to tier 1 anyway. And occupy, it'll mean a little bit more instability in the place. We can counteract that with the diktat if we should need to. Repair, and demand highborn hostages. Lovely. Isla de Sangre is now ours, and... Yeah, looks like no likelihood of a proper battle left in this particular... might fight this, but anyway. I think this is where I'm going to call it. The episode has obviously gone wrong, gone long, certainly not gone wrong, except for every other faction than ours. So yeah, good place to call it. We've wiped out a lot of vamps. Next time, we'll go through the mountains and quickly wipe out the southern realmers here before turning back towards Nakari, most likely, or stopping by briefly to grab San Luis. Maybe even with Admiral Kinwovale, I might just build him his witch elves, though we don't have the reductions in terms of the recruitment costs that we did before. It'll still be hopefully okay. Wow, your healing is disappointingly slow. Huh. Is this an island? Ooh, we can pick that up as well. Hopefully I remember that that's there. But anyway, we might actually need to... Wait, and you have the rank 10 that gives you Unshakable. Why are you healing so slow? You're in green territory. How is this so slow? You're in green territory and you have the plus 10% casualty or punishment rate. You should be healing way, way faster. Might have to go through this to get towards Elven healing, but maybe this doesn't work because it's for own armies in province. But dang, maybe it doesn't count you? It's just shocking how low this is. Do masters increase replenishment? No, they train. Do you have... No, you don't have retinue physician. I think it's assassins, unfortunately. Yeah. Alright, we'll probably need to build some Canine temples to get some assassins up and running, but we'll deal with that later. Like I said, I'm going to call it here next time. More fighting and more reaving with our reaving fleets now online, so hopefully they'll make their names, get their names of power, and then we'll decide what we do with their armies, like Ken Wovale, when we do. Stay tuned for more Lokhir, and don't forget to leave those likes in the comments below. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.